Thank you so much for joining us. This is Muvi Television Primetime News, and I'm Keith Moon. And troops crossing border. Concord set May 26, 2022 as date on Lusambo's parliamentary judgment. Union applauds government for prioritizing the education sector. Jackson Silavo lectures MPs on lawmaking. Details. Russian forces have begun an attack on Vladimir Putin, warning a bloodshed unless Ukrainian forces lay down their arms. That a possible invasion could start the biggest war in Europe since 1945. The aggression. As the sound of air raid sirens rang out across the Ukrainian capital early Thursday, the dawn broke in Kiev. There was still some traffic on the streets to defend the country as Russian shells strike multiple cities. CNN
has warned the Ukrainians that it is possible the capital Kiev. Now I don't know whether that's what Vladimir Putin gave
to education,
has made ties to avert his people from danger will be welcome. Non-violence war acknowledged in law centered for daily of Nchelenge in law
are to stay, but some of them they have tried to search, and more houses which are falling down, and specify is aware about it, and I thank for the
Betway. Agents and those in transitory people, as well as persons.
Anyone seen Bob? Has anyone seen Bob?
Over here.
Where? How did you get a card?
Well, it's not a card, but it works just like one. It's virtual.
For all things online, the Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
The United Party for National Development UPND member who was allegedly Anderson Banda, who led the UPND youth official, says the death of Chama remains suspicious and disheartening. He says UP police to take keen interest in the death of the late Chama. Mr. Banda says Chama was a hard-working person.
It's not a thing that anyone can condone. Kuti uyu Chama ni muntu amene naye nkhondo. Ni muntu ya mwana umozi msikana. We'll make sure
has encouraged situated along Lumumba Road at City Market.
I can confirm that the Lusaka City Council Fire Brigade attended to a fire yesterday at Lusaka's Munyaole Market at about 20:04 hours after receiving a call that the market was on fire. Preliminary investigations have revealed that the fire emanated from garbage that was dumped near the makeshift store. There were no fatalities that were recorded at the time, as business had come to a halt when the fire swept through the 10 shops that have been gutted. In this vein, we would like to call on members of the public to desist from dumping waste indiscriminately. But other than that, more importantly, we would like to urge you not to set garbage ablaze, as this can prove to be disastrous, as seen at Lusaka's Munyaole Market.
Opposition Golden Party of Zambia, GPZ President Jackson Silavo says the recent years, the bills that have been taken to Parliament for enactment do not reflect the collective consensus of the Zambian people in their constituencies. The opposition leader says law formulation in Parliament has mostly been of individual political interest, party affiliation and feelings of political party presidents instead of the people. Mr. Silavo has since proposed a mechanism for members of Parliament to be sent back to their constituencies and wards to get the people's views once a bill is introduced on the floor of Parliament.
That it is time for us to reform our Parliament so that the Parliament of Zambia should reflect the people's business. And we say so because we have seen in the recent past, when a bill is introduced in Parliament and the MPs debate that bill, it takes the posture or to defend political party positions and affiliations instead of the views and the positions of the people in the constituencies. And so as the Golden Party of Zambia, we are proposing that this country should come up with a mechanism, Parliament should come up with a mechanism where they send back parliamentarians to their constituencies to conduct town hall meetings in their wards to get a position before they pass any bill. If you ask any voter, any citizens, for example, how many laws were passed in the life of the previous parliament, they'll tell you they do not know. Now, we cannot claim to handle the people's business when themselves they don't know. No wonder we see a lot of posturing in parliament. MPs walking out, protecting party positions instead of protecting the people's position. The number one responsibility of an MP, even if that MP was sponsored by a political party, is to state the position of his constituents in parliament, to render input on behalf of his people in parliament. That is not what we are seeing in the Zambian parliament. And so, as we have seen changes happen at parliamentary level, the first time in the history of our country having a female speaker, let us also take this opportunity to effect reforms that will transform parliament and handle the people's business in totality. I thank you.
National Albinism Initiative Networking of Zambia, NINE's national patron Mark Zeligone has appealed to relevant authorities to seriously consider finding out the welfare of persons living with albinism, as most of them are unable to buy sunscreen lotion due to exorbitant prices. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News, Zeligone says government should consider subsidizing the lotion for albinos so that it can be made accessible to many. Meanwhile, the organization has welcomed the appointment of popular musician John Chiti as a member of the Zambia Police Service Commission.
Opportunity to call upon government to look into the issues of sunscreen. For the past 11 years or so, people living with albinism have not been receiving sunscreen. You know, taking care of one's skin as a person living with albinism is a very difficult thing because it needs money. Sunscreen is very expensive. Now that the New Dawn government has seen the importance, as they have brought people living with albinism on board, we would love them to investigate the issues of sunscreen at the Ministry of Health. There are records that people living with albinism have been receiving. There are records that sunscreen has been procured, but none of them has been receiving this commodity. Now I would love to take this opportunity to call upon the police not to relent but continue the investigations concerning these suspected ritual killings that have happened since 2011. We have not seen any arrests. We were just told no, police will carry out thorough investigations. People having graveyards being exhumed, all those, we have not seen any arrests since 2011. Therefore, we call upon the police and other investigative wings to join hands together to at least ensure that all those that have been involved into these suspected ritual killings, suspected ritual attacks on people living with albinism are arrested. Making sure that whoever was involved into any ritual attacks is brought to book and they will feel that at least government is helping them. So the National Albinism Initiative Networking of Zambia would love to welcome and commend government for appointing one of our people living with albinism, John Chiti, as a member of the Zambia Police Service Commission. People living with the albinism condition have been marginalized. They feel so sidelined, such that none of them serves in some high positions of governance. This move by government will actually motivate many people living with albinism to actually even go to school, because most of them feel to be marginalized because none, in so many years, none of them has been appointed in these.
Following an emphasis by the new Dawn government on the need for young people to form cooperatives and become more self-creative, a concerned youth in Lusaka, Austin Mwale, is responding to the call by government as he has embarked on an initiative of baking some small pieces of cakes with a motive to employ fellow youths in future. Speaking when he addressed fellow youth in Lusaka's Makeni area on what he termed as the Bakers Conference, Mr. Mwale advised the young people to liberate themselves from depending on white-collar jobs through the government, but they should instead utilize the skills or their God-given abilities.
Coming out with this conference to enable help of bakers. There would be bakers, could be the startups, the hobby bakers and professional bakers with the technical skills of how to run a baking business, be it at home or at a shop. I understood that many times bakers just know how to bake, but they don't know how to market their products, how to talk to clients, and just how to run their business in terms of costing and how to keep receipts, opening bank accounts in the business term as a baker, not as an individual. So really this conference is more based on allowing or maybe exposing bakers to the right side of the business. Today we are saying that baking is not all about bread and butter. It's not only all about flour. My appeal to the government is that much as we are trying as individuals to come up with such conferences, they should tap into these ideas and we can get on board and sit together with the ministries which are involved in small businesses, small entrepreneurs, and just make baking to be something that someone would say, okay, we'll be proud to say I'm a baker and I'm making a living out of baking and I'll take baking to another level, because others do not think baking can give them a living they wish to have. But I'm a living testimony. I don't have a white collar job. I'm a baker and I'm an events planner, and I've made my living out of baking. So if I can do it, why can't other people do the same? So my appeal to government is that they should take interest in such activities and support we the youths especially and the young entrepreneurs. So that's my appeal to government.
We take our third and final break. We still have more stories. Stay tuned.
On the pitch of life, you've got to choose your game and who you play with. Your people. You get what I mean?
Oh, that is so true, Mr. Easy.
Because when you need a bit of support, there's the people you can count on. People who are there for you, no matter what.
Guess we are always here for them.
Choose who to play with.
With Bet Power, you can chat, message, or call real people round the clock. This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
Where's Bob? Anyone seen Bob? Has anyone seen Bob? Bob? Bob! Bob!
Over here!
Where?
Over here!
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
Airtel Money MasterCard? But you don't even have a bank account. How did you get a card?
Well, it's not a card, but it works just like one. It's virtual, so no plastic, and it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order a shipment.
For all things online, the Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
And now for the rest of the stories. The Zambia Agency for Persons with Disabilities, ZAPD, has reiterated on the need for higher learning institutions to always consider the plight of persons living with disabilities, more especially on the accessibility to the buildings. ZAPD Acting Executive Director Nicholas Goma has charged accessibility to public buildings such as learning institutions by persons living with disabilities is still a challenge despite several advocates by his organization. He says the organization is not aimed at finding faults in other stakeholders, but rather to ensure the plight of differently abled persons are addressed. He was speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka.
Our focus is that we just want to provide an opportunity for learning. Every institution must be given an opportunity to learn and see how best later on we can improve the situation for persons with disability. So that's the approach we are taking for now. We need to provide lesson learning. We need to provide an opportunity for people to become aware, and that's where even the role of the media comes in very handy. We need to make sure the information goes out before, at times, you take certain more stronger actions. So for now, we are looking at an opportunity for us to learn from each other. And then I think that's the approach we are taking, and that's why I've said, besides the inspections, we'll also engage through workshops and meetings for our stakeholders so that we can discuss these issues further. We'll also engage other key stakeholders like EIZ, Engineering Institute of Zambia, because our engineers have the final authority of endorsing on any building and infrastructure plan. So these now are issues we want to ensure that everyone is able to buy in, and they know that, oh, actually there is a provision of the law that requires us to ensure accessibility to infrastructure for persons with disability. And I think that's the approach we want to take, and we're very confident that with this approach, in the near future, inspection will be more just to ensure encouragement and not really to an institution that provides learning facilities. We are an agency that is supposed to ensure that the Disability Act number 6 of 2012 is in compliance by all stakeholders and the society and public involvement. What we are just trying to actually undertake is to ensure we just help our various stakeholders within the learning sector, as well as the other public facilities. Let's say shopping malls and these other public facilities. They should be accessible to persons with disabilities. Yeah. For now, what we are looking at is to help, especially the learning institutions. I mean, a student should not be denied to, for instance, pursue a certain career because the learning facilities does not allow accessibility. So the whole idea is so that we just encourage learning institutions to make provisions for accessibility to all the facilities, be it the library, be it the laboratories there, the lecture theaters, and someone should not be made to change, maybe for instance, a career because you say, no, this person, they cannot access this and that facility.
And finally, in sports news, Zambia Golf Union President Christopher Mulenga has disclosed its partnership between Zambia Golf Union ZGU and the top-notch golf evolution Chongwe for taking golf into primary and secondary schools, as well as colleges and universities, rolling out a golf coaching program for physical education. Speaking at a media press briefing 24th February 2022, Mr. Mlenga says the targeted number is to reach out to 30 schools in Lusaka, out of which 24 so far have responded positively and have finalized the training process in conjunction with identified golf clubs. He also stated that the Junior League in Lusaka will start on 13th of March this year and to be conducted by the tournament directors from Chongwe.
Is a club and ball sports in which players use various clubs to hit balls into a series of holes on a course as few strokes as possible, requiring brutal strength and mental capacity. It is for this reason the Zambia Golf Union president, Christopher Mulenga, has reached out 30 schools in Lusaka, out which 24 have responded positively, and has achieved more than 200 junior golfers enrolled to the program. Speaking at a media press briefing in Lusaka, 24th February 2022, Mr. Mulenga says the league will initially have 1 tournament per term, making 3 in a year, and says the categories will be under 9, 13 and 19 years of age, comprising each team of 4 members involving both girls and boys participating in the tournament.
The tournament will be replicated countrywide, starting with the Copper Belt in the near future, and then when we move from the Copper Belt we'll go to provincial level. The tournament, there will be provincial tournaments, provinces competing against each other. Before now, we crystallize it with the national tournaments at the end of the day. Number 5, the ultimate goal of this program is to have Zambia as the hub in the region, where we'll be now inviting kids from across the region to compete in the international tournament in the sub-region.
Meanwhile, the top-notch Golf Evolution Board chairperson, Michael Chola, has appealed to the corporate world and individuals for sponsorship for the league. He says Zambia has a lot of opportunities out there for golf scholarships and believes the league can be used as a vehicle to market various brands of recruiting many institutions in the country,
so that they make it into the team to represent their institutions, thereby improving the standards of golf in the country. As tournament administrators, we appeal for sponsorship of the league from corporate world and individuals. We believe that this league can be used as a vehicle to market various brands. Our campaign of recruiting as many institutions as possible is ongoing, and the response so far is overwhelming. Some institutions are somehow hesitating, which is understandable, to join, but then let's look at the bigger picture here.
Caroline Mwanza reporting for Muvi TV News, Lusaka.
And that's it for the primetime news this evening. To wrap up, we look at the headlines. Russia launches military attack on Ukraine with reports of explosions and troops crossing borders. Concord set May 26, 2022 as date on Lusambo's parliamentary judgment. A 49-year-old man of Mulumbwa village of Lwapula sentenced to 20 years imprisonment. Copperbelt University Union applauds government for prioritizing the education sector. And finally, Jackson Silavwe lectures MPs on lawmaking. Thank you so much for watching the Primetime News today. Be sure to watch me, Keith Mwemba, for the main news at 21:15 hours. Thank you so much and good evening.
You cannot achieve that in an overcrowded environment.
Creso schools are established on strong Christian moral principles. Creso schools offer excellent education services from preschool to senior secondary schools. Creso schools combines rigorous academics with a fun and highly supportive learning environment and has been supporting students and families for over 17 years. At Creso schools, we want to push open the doors into your world of success. We are currently enrolling from grade 1 to grade 12 at our boarding schools, MUBUYU Christian Academy in SCHOOL-SLAVONGA and Fountain Gates Academy in Chongwe, and at our legendary Gospel Outreach Christian Academy in Lusaka. Visit our website on www.creso.org or come in person to Go Center on plot number 17734 Nangwenya Road, Lusaka.
At Manzi Valley, we pride ourselves in giving you the cleanest and safest mineral water on the Zambian market. Our mineral water is produced in the cleanest and most hygienic, germ-free environment in Zambia, and that's just a fact. We at Natural Valley take pride in the quality of our product so that you can safely enjoy our mineral water, rich in minerals, to satisfy that thirst and revitalize your body. So grab a bottle of Manzi Valley mineral water now to beat that thirst with the cleanest bottled water in Zambia.
Who's got the cheapest plots in town with affordable payment plans? Searching around, cause I'm trying to build a house where I can find a better place. Heritage Property. Tell me more. Heritage Property. It's another day to make a difference in your life. Put your investments in land today, and guess what? It's as cheap as 9,000 kwacha only. For only 9,000 kwacha, you get to buy a 30 by 20 size of land in 18 miles. If you can't pay it all at once, you still can pay in installments of 1,000 kwacha per month until you finish. For more details, visit us at Finical House on the 9th floor in room 9 or call us on 0976 734527 or 0961 620881. Visit our Facebook page at Namayo Heritage Property. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Namayo Heritage Property. Come and inherit your heritage. Namayo Heritage Property, your land guru.
Creso University is enrolling for June-July 2020 intake in the following programs: Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Diploma in Clinical Medicine, Abridged Nursing, Bachelor of Science with Education,